Hey, hope y'all are having a great day. Today I'm going to tell you about how I lost my MAVIC Pro, and I'll give you a little update on what's going on. So I made 4 major mistakes when I lost my MAVIC Pro. Number 1 was I decided to go fly when I only had 14% battery left on my phone. The second mistake was I ignored one of my 30% low battery warning on the drone after I was already out there. 3 was that it was over a mile away during this whole thing. And 4, I accidentally had left my return to home altitude set to 200 meters, which was 656 feet or something like that. So anyways, I was just sitting at this, it was a big park area. I don't know how many acres it is, but anyways, I was just sitting there and decided to go get a time lapse of the entrance to this place. And so I launched my drone and I sent it to the front of the park and let it start doing its thing. Then I get the 30% warning. That was my second mistake? Yeah, well, besides flying it out a mile. Anyways, so I get the 30% low battery warning on the drone, and I was like, I knew it could fly back with less, or I knew I could fly it back with less. I waited a little bit longer, and then my phone died. And I wasn't near my cabin to just, get my iPad or something else to plug into it. So I was like, oh, man. So I hit the return to home button, and it started to climb. And I was like, okay, it's just going to climb a little bit. And it keeps climbing up to 655 feet, and I was like, or 56 feet, whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to change the 200-meter return to home height that I had set before. And I was watching that on the little LCD screen that's on the MAVIC Pro controller. So then it starts, once it finally gets to that altitude, it starts to come back. And I was like, okay, well, at least it's closing the distance. So it's coming back. And it gets to 3,300 feet. It's over a mile away, or over a half mile away. And it says landing. And I was like, oh no. So I held up throttle and then just to keep it in the air and pushed forward, assuming that it was still facing home. And the distance began to increase. So I was like, oh my gosh, it must have turned and then decided, when it decided to land, it must have turned and then started to go down. So I just turned it, pushed forward, turned it, pushed forward, turned it, pushed forward on the controls until I got the distance to start decreasing again. So the distance is decreasing now, but while I was fighting to keep it in the air and trying to figure out which way to come back, so I was at 4% battery, 1,935 feet, and I was just like, well, I'll let it land. I'd rather it land than just fall out of the sky. So it's going down. I lose contact with it at 35 feet. So I was like, oh my gosh, it either got behind trees or it crashed at 35 feet. So I go out there, and there were trees on the right of a big open field, kind of like this. There were trees on the right and trees on the left. And I went out in the field. I didn't see it out in the field. I checked the trees on the right, and I didn't see it on the right. And then the trees on the left, unfortunately, were not on this same property, so I was going to have to leave the property. And it was like a housing community subdivision kind of thing. And so just at a long shot, I was like, man, it's probably gone. But just at a long shot, I was like, well, I'll get in my truck and I'll drive through there and see if it's in a tree or something. So got in my truck and left this property, went down that road that goes to that housing area, and
hey guys, I just want to interject real quick. I just wanted to show you what I'm talking about because it's kind of confusing. So I got on the DJI app and I pulled up this picture that you see, and I measured out on a previous flight where 1935 feet would be, and I put a marker where that was, if you can see this. Anyways, I did like a little marker like that, and then I measured with a straw or something, and I just like put marks from where I was, a little blue dot where you can see. So this is my first one. Then I measured out and marked each one from the home point here, and that's how I got kind of a general area where 1935 feet circle around me would be. So just want to interject and let y'all get more of a visual of what happened. Also, this is the group of trees on the right that I was talking about, big open field, and then this is the group of trees that I was talking about on the left, and these are also trees down the road here. Anyways, I'll let you get back to it.
You can see it on the screen now. That's where I found it. That's actually like, I just slammed on the brakes as soon as I saw it. So that's like as close, because I was looking in the trees and not on the ground. And so that's exactly where I found it. And I didn't get any video or anything of this happening. First of all, I was like freaking out. I knew that the longer it took me to find the drone, the less and less likely I was to find it. So I didn't grab any cameras or mess with anything until I finally found it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I should have recorded some of this. So I opened my phone and I recorded this little bit on here, and you can see how like just in shock I was in this video.
So lost my drone and just found it.
Alright, so anyways guys, that's how I lost my MAVIC Pro. As far as what's going on this week, I finally got a date to start my Common Core, which is the Army's ground school / flight school. I start that this week. I just turned in equipment today. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up more equipment, and I'm going to try and keep y'all updated. So I know I'm going to be super busy. Is that a cow in the water? Pretty sure that was a cow in the middle of a lake. So I know I'm going to be super busy with flight school and stuff, but I'm going to try and keep pumping out a video every week to update on each piece of my flight school. So if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe down there in the bottom. Thanks.
This is how I show my love. I'm playing it in my mind because I'm blaming on my ADD, baby. This is how I